I mean, it's just I just realized that there are so many things that are happening here in the world. Okay, excellent connection. We have entered live, and now I'm just going to talk about. I'm just gonna, go on with my thoughts. Yeah, UFOs exist. Yeah, the position taken by authorities is something that I do not agree with. That I do not agree with, but I don't really care too much about that because in any case, I just expect things to come naturally. You know. Um, yeah, I've spoken about that, so I don't really worry too much about it. So I'm just now writing, the title of the invitation on Facebook. This time I'm saying this time I am broadcasting in English, broadcasting in English on different topics. Thank you for taking a look and a listen. Enjoy. Uh, Hugs to y'all. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna post to Facebook. You know, I somehow took the risk of sharing with a lot of groups. I said, well, I had to understand what was gonna happen. Because I said, to myself, I'm gonna start sharing with a lot of groups. Okay, let me show my face now. Here I am. How are you guys? And I said, well, I gotta do something. I got to really like. Uh, Let me see. Let me just lower this microphone a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better. So I just I said to myself, I gotta know, I got to understand what is going on here. I think that in general, I understand that maybe these guys from Facebook, what they want to do is actually avoid people spamming, and there are maybe all other intentions that they do not disclose, which have to do maybe mainly with the fact that they more like care. They want to sell. I think they want to sell, or I don't know. It's sometimes complicated. But for me, it was just unfair. I started sharing with a lot of groups, 100 shares for one video that I was, making. I was broadcasting it on, live, and at the same time, I was, making some clicks, here and there, in order to share to different groups because I have registered or become a member. You know. In different groups, and then suddenly I find out that they blocked my account. I said, well, okay, I had to need to know how much time that was going to, what was going to happen, why they were doing this. And okay, let me just give me a second here. I want to see, I like this train, background. These railways, this movement, the snow, the bridges, all this. But at the same time, I want to, lower my picture. And I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to, fix the picture of the train moving. And now I can move. I suppose I can move now. Let me see. Video capture device. That's me. Let's see if I can actually. Yeah, okay. There we go. Here I'm. So it's just fun to think and to imagine things, and for example, reading the news and the pandemics, and of course the Russian vaccine. Okay, we have a problem here. Warning, says YouTube. The stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended. But they're recommended, so I have to open the widget, which is like this window that displays information. So it says that we recommend that you use a stream bitrate of 4500 kbps. Okay, I'll do it next time. Bit rates. Okay, I will have to find out where to modify the bit rates. But I'm fine. I'm having fun, and. It's just interesting. I think part of the fascination of being here, before the screen, just for a little while, is that I can, just to blow my mind, just to think about different things, sometimes read the news and sometimes do this or that. And whether I read the news or I don't really care too much about it. I think that there's a lot of BS. I don't want to say bad words here because I do care about being a respectful person. I believe somehow that, saying bad words is sometimes, something that doesn't come along with my ethical, conduct. I just think that it's not a good example. I prefer to be sound in my way of speaking. And then, it's fun to be here. I did find it very unfair from Facebook, from the Facebook team to shut down my profile. But well, I know that I was also, oversharing, but I think that it should have, they should have told me. They should have notified me, okay, well, you have this limit of groups that you can share with, that you can share your videos with. So don't go over this limit. I would have respected or observed that limit. I wouldn't have gone beyond that. And, but unfortunately, they didn't do that. And well, I had to find out for myself. And unfortunately, that was kind of painful because they just, shut down my profile for 7 days. Yes, I'm just, now texting a student here. Let me tell her, yeah, that's awesome news. Awesome news. Let me know. Let me know when you want to kick off. When you want to kick off with our class, and I'll be there for you, and will very gladly make myself available. So yeah, I'm talking about things in life, talking about things that are surprise me. Okay, let's see. Apparently, the light is fading away because the evening is transforming into night. The sun is coming down, and now I need more light in order to make this effect possible. It doesn't matter. I have my lamp here. I'm just going to put it closer to me. I'm just going to turn on the light, and hopefully that'll, repair things. Of course, I don't like, I look kind of pale, and I think that's much better. But it's fun to put all these things together, guys. I really like it. Unfortunately, people don't care about maybe my contents. They are just more caring about other things that are taking place in the world, and they have a right to be like that. For me, it's more like I'm going to start, trying to get connected with more people and, invite them to do things. In any case, let me see. There must be here somewhere, like, let me see. Give me a second. Let me see where. Okay, here it is. So I can maybe. Okay, my student says she wants her class tomorrow. That sounds awesome. Super cool. What time? Super cool. Could it be? Could it be like at noon? Say 12 o'clock. What day is tomorrow? Today is Tuesday, so tomorrow Wednesday. Because tomorrow Wednesday I'm gonna be kind of busy. Tomorrow Wednesday I will be broadcasting a radio program at 5 p.m. Okay, well, there she is. She's interested in having her classes. I'm very glad. That's something good that I like to have. In my life, I have always been interested in in having conversations with my students on many different topics. And of course, I am not like the British way, that they are talking about the weather or things, or maybe that's just an icebreaker. I like to talk about substantial things. So we talk about our lives. We, sometimes describe, events from our childhood, and things that are, like more substantial, more humane, rather than saying whether, you believe in Trump or not, or whether, it's like something that I sometimes don't buy in too much into, because I think that, politics, many politicians are, thank you. So what time you want to, what time do you want to have your class? 12. Okay, got it. She wants her class at 12 o'clock. That sounds good. I'm happy. Even if this life is sometimes so absurd. This life, I am not a believer in God, but I am. Don't worry. I'm not going to, criticize people who have faith. Actually, when I say I don't believe in God, maybe I am being a little bit too of an extremist to say that. I don't want to be disrespectful to people who immediately feel, oh, he's an atheist. Oh, my goodness. No, it's not like that. It's more like, he has manifested to me, but I cannot really, honestly say whether it was him with a capital letter, or if it was a figment of my imagination, and I don't want to be unfair. I'm just trying to stick, faith to my own, honesty, because when you have one of those events where you are, and let me tell you very fast, long story short, I was feeling bad. I thought that my kidneys were not working anymore. And then suddenly, I started, praying. I was crying at night. I felt that pain, was not, leaving me. It was there forever. Well, 15 days in a row. So I started feeling very alarmed and very desperate. And then suddenly one night, like at 6 o'clock in the morning, I had been crying, all night. And then suddenly I just put my hands together and I said, well, God, if you are over there, if you are somewhere there, out there, if you are, the creator of everything, if you are, against all odds, against all possible rational thoughts about your nature, etc., whatever, please help me. I am afraid. I am going to die. I don't want to be a burden to my family. I don't want to live like a vegetable. I don't want to be, I don't want to be glued to a machine where I am just going to be just blah, blah, blah. Just like that. I was crying. I was very sad. And then I just thought to myself, well, something's got to happen. So please, God, if you are there, please give me a sign. Remember that I have always been, like very faithful to, to being honest, And that if I don't believe in you, or if I cannot just be certain that you exist, it's because I just got to be honest. What if it's all a product of my imagination? Man, that, humans' imagination is very, is very powerful. We can, create worlds in our minds, and, that's why literature exists also, because you can create worlds and you can create situations and you can imagine characters and you can imagine that you are there. And of course it takes some time because you have to train imagination to be able to do that, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. I mean, there are thousands of books that have been written out there, So my point was, God, if you are there, please give me a sign and give me, some, talk to me, make yourself present. And he did. And when I say he with a capital letter, he did. I just talked to him and I said, well, God, please don't take me, because I felt like he was going to take me away. He was going to take me with him, that I was going to die, and that he just reassured me. He said, don't worry, you're coming with me. Don't worry about your family. I said, no, God, no, please don't. I just want you to heal up my kidneys. I don't want to feel this pain. I still want to be here. I want to be with my wife, with my son, with my mother, with my parents, with my family, with my brother, with everybody. I just thought of them and I said, please, God, don't take me with you. Please, even if I'm going to the most wonderful place, I know I will be going with you, but please wait. Please don't take me this time. And he finally just released me. He left me crying, and my kidneys and my pain just disappeared. Of course, I know the people who are always carrying their Bibles and say, oh, you see, God exists, blah, blah, blah. But I don't like these people sometimes because they just speak with so much certitude or certainty. But for me, it's just arrogance. We are human beings. We don't have that certainty. Why do... I don't know. I just don't like to criticize other people, because then everything starts, failing, For me, it's more like I'm gonna stick, to my truth, or more like to my truthful way of being in life, which is being honest. Because if I do not have absolute evidence, there to be able to show it to everybody that things are like this, I'm sorry. It's the objectivity of truth, and it's not that I am being stubborn. I know there's millions of people, but I hope that they just try to understand what I'm talking about. But well. It doesn't matter. So anyways, I'm just going to send a hello, anybody out there, to see whether there's anybody out there, just to see whether somebody cares. It's kind of funny, That's why, sometimes I have my qualms about, broadcasting on YouTube, because I just sometimes wonder, wow, it must be very, very tough to, start, summoning people, attracting people, broadcasting some kind of, sexy content, appealing context, in order to have them, be interested in my, in what I say, telling stories. And I'm telling stories already, I'm telling stories. I know that That's what I'm doing. But I just think that I should just go on. Being a free person, just being free and going ahead with my philosophy and thinking, and just reading sometimes things, and sometimes reading poems, and sometimes singing my music, because I love to do that, and just not worrying about things, because then just life becomes yeah, something ridiculous, whatever. So I have lots of songs here, and I have sung some of them, and okay, whatever. It's just that so many songs, and then sometimes I think like I should be like trying to sing something else. For example, El Abandonado is by a Mexican band called Elefante, which means elephant, and they sing this song, or they created this song called El Abandonado, the abandoned man, or the dumped one, maybe. Finished in a relationship, the relationship broke up, and then or maybe he was just dumped. Okay. Anoche pude ver cuando no. Okay, let me just grab this the syncope, I think. Anoche pude ver cuando tú fuiste. Solito me quedé y no dije nada. Tal vez esta canción te suena triste, pero me está llevando la chingada. Yeah, something along those lines. It's just that sometimes when I sing a song, I have to rehearse it, because I do forget, just the beginning of it. So anoche pude ver cuando te fuiste. Solito me quedé y no dije nada. Tal vez esta canción te suena triste, pero me está llevando la chingada. Y lo que me digas de memoria me lo sé, tus mentiras no me servirán de nada. Que lo perdiste, ojalá te vaya bien. Yo me voy por donde vine, sé que no me perderé, no. Abandonado, un exiliado, de tu boca, de tus manos, de tu corazón. Sin rumbo fijo, voy de la mano de mis sueños vagabundos, y me importa poco que me diga el mundo. El abandonado, yeah, more or less. I know that I am just going out of time a little bit, but it's just a matter of adjusting. El tiempo es el doctor de los dolidos, para sanar las penas que te embriagan. Yo siempre me las curo con tequila, oyendo a José Alfredo y al Sabina. Y no pasa nada, sé que no me moriré. Como dice la canción, así es la vida. Mírame a los ojos, aunque sea la última vez. Solo vine a despedirme, no te vine a detener, no. Abandonado, un exiliado, de tu boca, de tus manos, de tu corazón. Sin rumbo fijo, voy de la mano de mis sueños vagabundos, y me importa poco que me diga el mundo. El abandonado. Hey, así estoy yo sin ti. Fallaste, corazón, y ya lo pasado, te doy una canción. ¿De qué manera te olvido? Esta tarde vi llover. Bésame mucho y tóquenme la que se fue. Y ahí cambiamos el tono, and here we change, and we're in a different, note. Yeah, some changes, some chords here for the solo. Abandonado, un exiliado, boca, de tus manos, de tu corazón. Sin rumbo fijo, voy de la mano de mis sueños vagabundos y me importa poco que me diga el mundo. El abandonado. Yeah, more or less, it's just like, it's great fun, I like it, like to get into like the beat of the song, Anoche pude ver cuando te fuiste, yeah, we go again, solito me quedé y no dije nada, tal vez esta canción te suena triste, pero me está llevando la chingada. Y lo que me digas de memoria me lo sé, tus mentiras no me servirán de nada. Something like that. Te lo perdiste, ojalá te vaya bien. Yo me voy por donde vine, sé que no me perderé, no, no. Abandonado, un exiliado, de tu boca, de tus manos, de tu corazón. Sin rumbo fijo, voy de la mano de mis sueños vagabundos y me importa poco que me diga el mundo. El abandonado. El tiempo es el doctor de los dolidos para sanar las penas que te embriagan. Yo siempre me las curo con tequila, oyendo a José Alfredo y al Sabina. Y no pasa nada, sé que no me moriré. Como dice la canción, así es la vida. Mírame a los ojos, aunque sea la última vez. Solo vine a despedirme, no te vine a detener, no, no. Abandonado, un exiliado, de tu boca, de tus manos, de tu corazón. Sin rumbo fijo, voy de la mano de mis sueños vagabundos y me importa poco que me diga el mundo. El abandonado. Hey, así estoy yo sin ti. Fallaste corazón y ya lo pasado, pasado, te doy una canción. ¿De qué manera te olvido? Pues esta tarde vi llover. Bésame, bésame mucho, tóquenme la casa, pues. Abandonado, un exiliado, de tu boca, de tus manos, de tu corazón. Sin rumbo fijo, voy de la mano de mis sueños vagabundos y me importa poco que me diga el mundo. El abandonado. Every time must be different somehow, because I'm not a robot. And I'm trying to feel, everything that I sing, whatever, but it is important, it's not just like a whatever. It's just like, well, let's make it interesting. Yeah, this is another song that I would like to sing, but I guess I'll do it a little later, so let's just go on with now. Let's go on with some news. So, well, today was kind of like a... I wonder what the name is in English for like this attitude that consists of, like watching news that are These videos where you see that people are being lynched. It's just that, I guess, I can only justify that. Is it an ill behavior, to be watching videos that are kind of ugly? Because it's kind of, what is the word in English? I will tell you. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna make a find here. Do a search. Let's go for when you're doing something. When you have this taste for things that are supposed to be kind of. Let me see. Morbid and sinister flavor. This taste for morbid scenes or an unhealthy interest. Okay. Yeah, so lurid content. Okay, lurid. That's an interesting word, lurid. You know, because you watch things that are not good. Maybe to some extent you understand, or you may understand that it's not healthy to watch them, though they somehow respond to a certain thirst for justice. We all have been mugged sometime, at least here in Mexico City, and it's been an ugly experience, feeling helpless or powerless, and that you are robbed of your belongings, your mobile phone, maybe your wallet, your money. It is a very traumatic experience. For some people, it's meant that they have had to suffer the killing of one of their people, of their beloved ones. I mean, it's an ugly thing, it's pretty bad. And then when you watch these videos, like there was one video rolling out there, like a couple of days ago, where there's this guy who's beaten up to, almost to death. The guy's lynched, because he wanted to get on one of those, public transport, small vans, with capacity for maybe 9 people. These vans actually roll along the state of Mexico, I think, or somewhere in the south of the city. I don't remember now. Well, whatever the thing is that, these 3 guys, when the van was actually picking up some passengers, these guys entered the van and they started. Well, one of the guys, got on, and he started. But then the chauffeur, noticed that there was a mug taking place, or that just was about to take place. One of the 3 guys, the 3 guys, of course, wanted to enter and take everybody's things, and then the thing is that the chauffeur, he moved from where he was parking with his van. The door was still open, so the other 2 thieves were not able to get on the van. And then the chauffeur, accelerated. But the 3rd guy, he wanted to jump out of the van as soon as he realized that the vehicle was set into motion. But it was too fast for him to jump out. And before that, one of the passengers sitting beside the open door, well, one of those gliding doors, whatever they called, he didn't allow this thief to get out of the van. And then the other guys, the other passengers, immediately grabbed him and started, kicking the shit out of this thief. And he was, badly beaten up by these guys. He was actually left naked on the pavement, on the road. But while you're watching those scenes, that footage, you're saying, yeah, beat the shit out of that bastard, you know. But I mean, it seems to be an unhealthy kind of thing. But I just want to speak on behalf of myself and say, well, that I understand why I watched and enjoyed the video, and I enjoyed the guy being kicked, you know, up like that, because I said, you know, it's those guys are bad guys. You know, they should receive some kind of real punishment. Now I don't know to what extent that, you know, that would dissuade, that would deter me in case I was a thief. That would deter me from doing it again. But I don't really know how the psyche of the rest of human beings may operate. You know, it seems to be very logical that if you do something that is wrong and you're punished for that, you will not do it again. Who knows? So. But you can relapse. Let me see. So, so let me just write down here the word for reincidir, which in English is just committing the same. Yeah, recidivism. That's the word, recidivism. So I would be deterred from recidivism. Recidivism. Wow, what word? That's a difficult word. I have seen that word several times in my life, but you know, sometimes it's just difficult to remember. It's one of those, you know, difficult words. You know, they don't seem to stick that easily. Recidivism. Recidivism, is that it? Recidivism. Let me see. Yeah, recidivism. I just wonder where that word comes from. There are some words that we just forget. So yeah, reoffending, recurrence, you know, to recur. And yeah, I enjoyed that video, guys. You know, I know that you can do that for yourselves, because you don't have to wait for, you know, one of those videos to roll out again, or to be, you know, to go viral. You know, suddenly, you know, you can always see a lot of videos like that, and they, you know, somehow quench a certain thirst to justice. You know, and that has to do with those. I do believe that, you know, when I have been mugged in the past, and, you know, the guys were not, and the guys just, you know, were, you know, ran at large. You know, they just escaped and they just took my things, and I felt very angry. My family too. Well, all the people involved in those stick-ups, it was ugly. You know, I think it's the story for many people too. You know, in our lives, you know, somehow we have to go through that, and we have gone through that, and that doesn't mean that that's going to be the last time. Well, of course, we become more precautious. You know, careful. But you never know, it can happen again. Well, anyways, I'm going to be talking about UFOs as well, but, you know, for now, let's go ahead with this song. I have sung it several times before. I really like it. I think it's a great song. It's by an Argentinian composer and guitarist, member of a band called Caifanes. I wouldn't even really know what the translation of Caifanes is, but, you know, I guess, you know, I have, you know, just... let me see. I have raised the question, so you may find out. But, you know, good, if you're there listening to me, if you are, I appreciate. Thank you very much. I'd love you to make yourself, you know, present with some comments, because it's good to know, you know, who's watching, you know. But I appreciate the silent observer too. You know, it's kind of weird, because it can just be a number. Sometimes I have come to believe that, for example, all those numbers, you know, displayed, for example, by Facebook, might be just fake, might be just false. You know, yeah, you had 600 people reach, 2,000 people reach, yeah, 3,000. No, what if it's not true? What if it's just, you know, somebody putting a number there and say, well, let's just, you know, make the day of this, you know, stupid loner. You know, he's posting his video, he's broadcasting, nobody gives a shit about what he says. Nobody gives a real, you know, a damn about what he says. You know, he may be criticized, he's just a loser, whatever, you know, I know the words. And they say, well, just let's make the day of this asshole, you know. Let's just, you know, put there 3,000 views, and he's gonna be, baby. We're making somebody happy, you know. That's, you know, you can deliver virtual happiness to people. And I sometimes just come to myself, you know, just just think about it, and I say, what if it's all just a fake? It's just like the happy world. That word written by was that the title in English? It's just that I read the book in Spanish by Aldous Huxley. The happy world. You're just giving nonsense. You're just giving a lot of lies, and it's not true. Like Robert Smith, the vocalist of that band, The Cure. He said, we're fighting for freedom, but in the television. So it's like a virtual freedom. It's like it's not true. All of us are receiving like our dose of drug. We're watching those screens with lots of bastards there talking and telling stories and saying this and that, and we have our emotions. We get angry, we get happy, but nothing really is happening more than we being just sitting or just looking at a screen, and we're not really doing anything. Well, anyways, I'm going to sing this song. At least that's going to mean something to me, and I hope and hopefully to you too. If you exist there, I see a concurrent viewer here. Maybe the concurrent viewer is myself, which is, I'm looking at myself, how my live stream is doing. I have like my OBS studio. That's the streaming software that I have, and from which I am sort of like launching or streaming. And then I have an open, the window from my YouTube studio, and there I look at myself, and it's just like looking at myself in a mirror, and the mirror is the screen of my computer, and nobody else. So it's just like maybe I'm in a cave and nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn shit about whether I am here or not. And yeah, well, and then I just look at all the other programs, and I just start watching all the things, and I say, wow. For example, I watch the news, and I say, it stinks. It really sucks. Fox News. I just look at it and I just can't tolerate those guys. They start talking and they are so arrogant, and they just say so many things that are unimportant and so manipulative. And I just say no. I turn it. I just flip the channel and I say I don't care. This doesn't have any transcendence to me, any importance at all. Who cares? But you look at those numbers and you say, wow. 300,000, 250,000 people are looking at it and watching and talking about it, and maybe they are just insulting each other, because you just look at the comments below, beside the screen, and they say, yeah, Trump is this, Trump is that, no, Trump is my God, no, Trump is Satan, blah, 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 you are an asshole, no, you are the one, no, Democrats and Republicans and blah, blah, blah. And you say that, and you see the same thing here in Mexico. You're watching the president talking about things. He's, doing this and that. He's signing some agreements, some whatever. He's talking about how the health secretary is sort of like dealing with the situation. And it's just some governors are criticizing the president. The president is, defending and standing up for some other governors. And you see the chats below, and it's just people insulting. It's people, like hating each other. It's just like, you blah, 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 blah. I say, wow, well, I respect all that. I just, I don't want to be part of that, and sometimes I have been part of that. So, it's just like, come on, focus on the essential, be clear, be well, be fine, be healthy, love your beloved ones, take care of them. I go out with my son, I play with him. It gives me, I do exercise. I'm going to sing my songs. And when this pandemic is over, maybe, very soon, I will be able to come back to some kind of normalcy, because I used to busker out in some park here in Mexico City, and I had my badge, and I was playing for some people, and I would just go there on my bicycle just for a couple hours, sometimes 1.5 hours, and then I would come back. It was a lot of fun, and now it's a lot of fun too, also, to be broadcasting this video. But it's kind of, sometimes here it's like more playing with the toys. It's like playing with these screens and saying, okay, bit rates and video and streaming and software, and put this background and that, and then you can read the news and you can comment on this or that, and it's a lot of fun. But at the same time, you think, I'm so alone here, so nobody really cares. Okay, and I listen to my voice here on my headset, in my headset, and it's my own voice. and it's almost as if I were, creating my own company. It's kind of a crazy thing. But well, I'm gonna sing some songs, and of course, I hopefully somebody's gonna enjoy this sometime. Maybe it's just gonna be buried into oblivion and indifference, like many hundreds of videos that I have posted, and sometimes I have felt sad, and sometimes I have felt crazy about them, and sometimes I have just felt like, well, you just gotta go on, you just gotta take it easy, just gonna go on doing your thing. That every time that you broadcast a video while you're talking to yourself, while you're thinking, while you're making comments, you know that you are somehow getting to know yourself. You're studying, so it's a good thing. It's not necessarily bad. You're not gonna go on with the inertia with like the rest of the people are doing. I don't want to create videos about hatred. I don't want to be, of course, like being a parasite, just clinging on somebody else's work, and whatever. It's more like a quest for my own sake, a quest to find out who I am, whatever. Maybe I will never get to know about that. No drugs, no alcohol. I mean, no hatred, no hate speech, no fake news. I can talk about my UFO encounters, but that doesn't mean that I believe in those encounters, because it can all be just a figment of my imagination. I know that. I just want to be honest. I have lived incredible things. I'm going to share them. I can share that, but I am no advocate of, UFOs. Though they exist. No, if there's evidence, it still doesn't reach objective truth. Unfortunately, it's true. But many people have witnessed amazing experiences at an individual level. I think that it is very likely that it is true that they have gone on board spacecraft, that they have been maybe, harvested somehow. Women who have had maybe hybrid fetos, whatever. The problem is that it's not verifiable. That doesn't mean that it's nonsense, or it's lie, or it's confusion. And no, it's just not verifiable. It's not objective yet. I'd love that to be objective, but it's not. Cada segundo sin tu piel. No, and I want to put the guitar. I want to put this microphone, lower, so that it can, sort of like capture or grab more like the sound of the guitar, and my voice more like a little bit. It's not so much, the volume on my voice, but on both. So it's just to attain a certain balance. I think it's gonna go better now. So this song is called "You Are Asleep" by composer and guitarist Alexandro Markovich, from a band called Caifanes, Mexican band. And okay, here we go. This is my version. Just grabbing my guitar and singing and sharing. That's all. Cada segundo sin tu piel. Me va secando la voz. Cada ladrido en tu pared. Okay, guys, I will have to leave you now because I gotta do something. Gotta check out something here with well, guys, I shouldn't even talk and say, guys, well, I mean, if there is somebody out there, hello, thank you for having listened to me, for having, enjoyed. I hope that many good feelings and good wishes, blah, blah, blah. And now I have to leave because I have to do some work now. But it's fun. It's fun to do this. And, well, in the end, we are all alone somehow. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. Leave a comment if you want. If you ever feel, if you ever feel leaving a comment like maybe hello, hi, wow. Okay, so let's now finish. Where do I have to click here to end the this streaming? Stop streaming.